Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I have uploaded any video. I've been working on a book talking about my life story living with muscular dystrophy. I'm still not done with it. Barely done. Barely have one chapter in. I already have chapter two halfway done, but I still have a long way to go. So that's taken a lot of time, to be honest, more than I expected. So I have not had a chance to upload any videos. So right now I had a chance to upload a video. So I thought I'll try to make a couple of videos. This video I'm gonna be talking about something I feel like nobody wants to go through. When you have an emergency, a medical emergency, you have to go to the emergency emergency room, hospital, whatever. You know what I'm talking about? Medical negligence. Yes, medical negligence. There's a lot of cases that have patients have suffered some kind of medical negligence, but it's more concerning when you have any type of disability. But if you have muscular dystrophy, it's like a little bit worrying. To deal with medical negligence. I found this article. Uh, I follow a lot of pages about muscular dystrophy on social media, and I ran into this article that I felt like medical negligence was a good topic to speak of. But I feel like a lot of us living with muscular dystrophy, we don't think about it that much, medical negligence. But I found this article talking about this individual that the doctors committed medical negligence on him and sadly passed away. He had muscular dystrophy and he passed away. This is what it said. This is what it said about the author. This is what it says. Janet Nagel's son John died suddenly and unexpected when medical staff would not listen to her medical information. And it says, "Thank you, Janet, for sharing your story to help others to change families." That's what it said when it says about the author. Down below that, it says what I just read. So I get started. The first part it says a Duchenne nightmare. This is what it says. I'll never forget the moment I laid eyes on that adorable little boy. I fell in love with him when he reached out for us with his tiny arms. It says when social servers informed us that he had a form of muscular dystrophy, that's what it says, which turned out to change, we had to make a choice that would seem difficult to most, that's what it says. However, to us there was none because we wanted him home to call your own. So that's how the article starts. And it says our John. Let's see what it says. John had a special place in everyone's heart. He was a joy to be around and wise beyond that not so many years of his life. He loved his family very much. He was genuine in creative arts, incredibly knowledgeable in the infant aspects of the entertainment industry, always providing information on the latest film, music, and technology associated with it. It says, "We look to him for expert opinions. He never ceased to amaze us with his insight into a world he found at the tip of his finger. He was a poet to diligently work to produce the ultimate screenplay. In turning for his life was never tempered by what many saw as devastating disability." It says April 28, 2027. But it says, but fate told a different story in the early morning of April 28, 2027. John spent most of the night chatting with friends on the internet. At 5 o'clock, he asked to be put to bed. He was only able to rest for a short while as he needed to use the commode. After putting him to bed once more, I immediately had to transfer him back at the same and the same happened with Tanao. He wanted to try again as he complained, "I'm not empathizing out properly." He rested some. He rested some following his efforts, but he was this much discomfort. At 2 in the afternoon, he started complaining of pain on his lower right abdomen, thinking it could have been gas. I tried rubbing the area since it occasionally helped in the past, but the pain worsened and come 5 o'clock, he wanted to be hospitalized. I couldn't get him onto his wheelchair because every time I tried, he felt as he was about to pass out. I called for an ambulance so they could keep him flat, and he was transferred to the local hospital. Next part is the emergency room. When he arrived at the emergency, he was given an intravenous and tried to get his blood pressure with little success. They inserted into his neck area in another attempt, but with great difficulty trying a number of times. They also did a CT of his lower abdomen, but found no obstructions. He was cataracted, but had little output. The doctor there told us the outcome looked grim and wanted to transfer him to the intensive care unit. During that time, he said, I have been in contact with doctors we seen once at Children's in Washington, D.C. He recommended for John to return to another D.C. hospital when they had all his records. He thought it could have been a gastro problem, and their gastro doctor were at conference. It says the ICU. Although we specifically told him not to use oxygen, they put John on it anyway while he was taken via helicopter. I wasn't allowed to accompany him on the flight, so we drove there and met him at the emergency. He was terribly uncomfortable being fluid filled and heavy, but had no urine output yet. They continued giving him fluid to bring his blood pressure up. He was taken to the ICU at 9 in the morning, but still had the same problem. Despite their lack of record, many scratched their heads trying to determine how they might proceed. Fluid filling with almost no blood pressure intubated with him at 11 o'clock. I was told to leave the premise and get ushered outside to the waiting room while they did the procedure. I tried gaining access to John, but was never allowed. At 2 in the afternoon, I saw John for a few minutes, though I believe the intervention wasn't inserted correctly because he didn't think he was going to make it. Going through cardiac arrest, they tried to revive him with no success. Then it says they just wouldn't listen. It says, this is what it says. My name is Janet Naglo, and John, my son, died that day because of medical negligence. Why didn't they call the doctor who was the muscular dystrophy clinic director, or at the very least try to contact his primary care from Children's? Those doctors and medical professionals who I trusted were making uninformed decisions, knowing little about muscular dystrophy or John. They gave him morphine for the intervention, standard procedure, but not for people with Duchenne's, and intubated him without air. Even while John insisted for me to be there, they refused. He never wanted me to leave his side, but I was denied the right to direct them, knowing what they shouldn't do, but did. They just wouldn't listen, it says. And then it says, I couldn't have spent more time with my son, but they wouldn't let me see him for more than 3 hours straight. But that time, there was no time. While I struggled with the anger and sadness that consumed my heart, I continued living with hope and upbeat spirit. John's last wish was for me to continue the MDA yard fair, even help Angelini at the farmer's market in Charlotte Hall, Maryland, that he raised more than 1,000 for the Muscular Dystrophy Association. Do it as long as you can, my son told me. That's what it says. And next part said awareness. This story wasn't meant to bring people down, but awareness. I hope this never happens again to anyone. Hope you have helped spread the word. It says, and you might think it was silly of me to adopt John, considering the future complications. But if I had the chance, I'll do it over again. It says. Then as I never saw him as a boy with muscular dystrophy, it says. And it also says, born October 4, 1980, adopted since 10 months old on August 11, 1981, and died on April 29, 2007. John Bernard Nugley was my son. It said, my inspiration he will always be. It said John contributed 20 years of his life to promoting the world cause of the Muscular Dystrophy Association in an effort to find a cure. It says the screenplay of his life shall continue and hope for others. And that's it. We can say very, sad story, you know, because you trust your lives with these professionals who who have dedicated their life to saving lives and stuff, and making a lot of mistakes. I feel like it's not acceptable because, like I was saying, they spend years, they spend years, learning, doing a lot of training to be, help professionals, help save life. But I feel like this is unacceptable. It puts the medical world upside down, I'll say, because it'll make people not really trust like the medical professionals that are supposed to save lives, not, you know, cause death and stuff like that. I get it. Like sometimes doctors do their best, to try to save lives, and where everyone I feel is grateful for that and stuff. But when these kind of things happen, it's like, it feels like, can we trust like the medical staff at hospitals? Like I said, there's good doctors, there are bad doctors, and stuff. But medical negligence, I feel like doctors. I feel like every doctor, I feel, should specialize, have somewhat of knowledge of muscular dystrophy or any other disability, because you never know when you might get a patient with a certain disability and stuff. And, you probably don't know how to, you know, care for a patient that has a certain disability and stuff. I feel like the medical staff should, if they don't really know a lot about the disability, should let the caregiver, guardians, parents, explain to them what they should do, and doctors should listen. I mean, if they're not very knowledgeable on a certain disability and stuff, not just muscular, any disability or any medical condition that a person might have, and they don't necessarily are specialists in that. Like the thing that bothered me, it's like there's they were seeing a muscular dystrophy doctor, a specialist in that, and I feel like the medical staff should have contacted him, you know, telling him what was going on, and this probably wouldn't happen, no, a life wouldn't been lost if they would just, made that call, and stuff. But sad, very sad story. But it is, like I mentioned, it's a sad story. But with this, article out there, we probably can make awareness about medical negligence in the muscular dystrophy community or medical negligence in general, because it can happen to anyone, not just people who have muscular dystrophy, a different disability. It has happened to people that don't have a disability, and I feel like those people should be held accountable and stuff. If they were like reading the article, there was a lot of medical negligence going on the whole time. Like they didn't know what they were doing. I feel like, and I feel like they should have been held accountable for the death of this person, of this individual and stuff. But I feel like hopefully, like raising awareness with this video will help, raise a little bit more awareness to my audience, my subscriber, my viewers, because we are all exposed to this and stuff. I appreciate the doctors that are working hard to save life. That they take they're very professional. They're, you know, doing the right things to make sure the patients are well and the nurses as well. I, appreciate everyone that who's in the medical world who, is doing their best to keep their patients well, saving lives, because not every doctor or every medical staff commits, medical negligence, or is a bad doctor or a bad staff. Some doctors are very professional. They're doing everything they can. Nurses as well. They're, working, you know, hard, especially some in the emergency room, ICU, normal hospital and stuff. They're very, you know, professionals, trying to do what they were just trying to do what they were meant to do, which is save lives and stuff. So to all those people in the medical world who are doing a great job, keep, working hard, keep on saving lives, you know, you're an essential, you're essential people that, that were very essential when COVID was there, risking your life to save people's lives and stuff, or just in general, it's not easy. You get to see a lot of different, you know, medical emergencies, which sometimes can be stressful and stuff. I get it. But like I said, to all those doctors that are doing, who are very professional, I appreciate each and every one of you. And I hope these kinds of medical negligence doesn't affect, the way we see people in the medical world, because not everyone is a bad doctor. There's a lot of great doctors out there. But like they say, just, there's always a few bad apples, that mess up how we see, doctors, nurses, and stuff. But I know there's still people out there that are very professional, enjoy their job, saving lives and stuff. And I hope this doesn't happen to me or anyone watching this, or to anyone around the world or watching this video. Hope none of us we have to deal with some kind of medical negligence in our life. Well, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification button. Until next time.